Hey girls, are you ready for another real family budget update? In today's video, we are taking you into our family's real life budget. I'm showing you all the numbers that are going into our bank account, out of our bank account, our cash, everything. I'm giving you all the details in hopes of showing you what it really looks like to actually make the budget work and what we do when trials come along. Welcome back. If you're new around here, I'm Brittany and this is Pennies into Pearls, where you can come for weekly motivation and inspiration and real life tips to help you live a better life without stressing about money. So if you haven't already and you need help figuring out why in the world do I set a budget and for some reason we can't stick with it, or maybe you're just trying to think of ideas to help stretch those dollars so you can be more intentional and spend your hard-earned money on more exciting things rather than just wondering where did all your money go, you're gonna wanna click subscribe. All right, so as promised, I'm showing you all the numbers. This budget update is covering January and February 2020. I have a playlist with all of our budget updates for the last few years, and it goes all the way back to when we were a one family income. We live in city of San Diego, so it's or the county of San Diego rather. So high expenses, one income family starting off. So go back through if you're new around here. There's so much things to learn. There's so many things for you to learn. Now, before we dive into the numbers, I need to let you guys know that I have a completely free budgeting for beginners starter kit. It is a printable version, and I also have the digital version similar to the one you're going to see in today's video. But if you sign up for this version now, you will be emailed in the next couple weeks when I actually do the update and give you the exact Google Sheets file that you can use as a template. All these things are a template. I have the bill payment tracker, the monthly budget tracker, and the daily expense tracker. All of these things are so important to you sticking to your budget. So click the link in the description box. You can get the free printables and the digital version that you can use on your computer. What's cool is that you can use it through Google Sheets, and there's an app for that, of course. So you can do it on your phone or on your computer. So if you need to change something really quick, just do it on your phone. All right, let's jump into the numbers. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention. This is so important. How could I forget? Okay, I'm looking for 5 pearls who are serious about figuring out their finances, who are feeling confused and need some help sifting through all of the information we have floating around on the internet, trying to figure out a customized plan for your family's finances to get them under control and start creating a better life for your family. If that's you, I want you to go over to Instagram and then send me a direct message with the word better, B-E-T-T-E-R, that's it, and then we'll start chatting. We start on Monday. So again, if that's you and you feel like this is a conversation that would help you, I'm looking for 5 pearls. We start on Monday. Head over to Instagram and send me that direct message. I think I'm getting it. I think we're finally starting to get the hang of owning our business, growing our business. Oh, where'd you guys go? And trying to get all of this figured out, being an entrepreneur and trying to grow your business and trying to figure out how to plan off of a very inconsistent income. So let me give you a few updates. I am working on, it's currently just, my battery died. Currently working on the budget for January and February, and I've predicted or estimated income for January, income for February. We realized that hubby needs to work 2 overtime days, one here in December, so that way it can help cover bills in January, and then an overtime day in January to help cover some bills in February, because this is what's going on. I've talked about it a couple times, but I've taken a pay cut most of 2019, and I think we'll finally be able to get back on track starting in March and still being able to reinvest a lot of money into the business and then continually increase my paycheck and hopefully hire more people to help with the business so we can keep scaling and growing Pennies into Pearls and making it so much more of a interactive, useful tool for you guys. So that's the exciting part of it for you guys. Let me show you our family budget for a few tweaks that I've recently done. So one thing I noticed is that we were moving, I was planning on paying our preschool bill. This is the one that I have highlighted. With our first paycheck, our first half of the month, and then putting money into savings. You can see right here, I used to have the preschool savings over here. So what I did is I just flip-flopped it. So I'm paying preschool with the first paycheck of the month. Oh, no. Sorry, this is what I'm doing. So the first paycheck of the month, we're putting half of the amount of the preschool bill into savings. And then the second paycheck of the month, I'm moving that money back into checking and then paying the total $300 with the second paycheck. So that way, all the money is where it needs to be. It's ready to go before the next month. So we're a month ahead on that, or half a month ahead rather, half a month ahead on that preschool bill. So I got that. That's just one thing that I adjusted this month to our template budget. Then you can see I started setting up our January and February budgets. Guys, I've been working on this for probably 3 hours this morning. So estimating that our first page, let me fix something, one sec. Okay, here we have it. Let me get our cursor right up here so I don't have to point and you guys can just look, follow the cursor. What we're planning is for hubby to work some overtime on December 20th, which will be paid on this first paycheck in January. So you can see that I made a note of that to make sure that I remember. And then my paycheck will be $1,000. And then after all of our budgeted expenses, that leaves us with negative $61 if we stick strictly to our budget. So you'll see it's so important for us these first 2 months to be so rigid and not overspend on anything. And so because I am self-employed, we have flexibility. So if I need to take an extra $100 out in January, I have the room in the business account to do that. So we have some wiggle room. And then this number also would just depend on what money we have left over from our December budget. So I feel okay with that being negative 61 right now. And then for the second pay period in January, he's going to be working New Year's Day, so he'll get time and a half for that. Plus he's going to work overtime on January 3rd, which we're estimating income to be about $3,400. And so you see that I made a note here, save $500 of this for February. It's so important to make notes like this because what if that second pay period of January comes and I forget that's what our plan was and think, oh sweet, we have an extra $500 this month. And that would just totally throw us off. So it's so important. So with the overtime and working a holiday, you can see down here, if I scroll, that leaves us with $551, which remember 500 of that we need to use in our February budget. So in February, let me fix this. For his paycheck, we're rolling over the $500 from January, and then he's also working Martin Luther King Day, which is a holiday for the city. So he gets time and a half for that. So that is what we're estimating his paycheck will be. I'll pull a paycheck for myself at $1,000, and then if we scroll down here, you'll see that we're estimating to have about $235 remaining, which is important because if we come back up here, the second paycheck of February, we will just be a normal paycheck for him. He's going to be working so hard the next few weeks, but we roll down, and so it's going to be negative $245. But remember, we have a positive $235, so hopefully those cancel each other out. So don't forget that I do what's called a zero-based budgeting. So we give every single dollar in our bank account an assignment. We want to be intentional with every single dollar rather than wondering where did all that money go. So we're giving every dollar an assignment. So the goal is to have that number be zero at the end of the month, whether we're putting money into savings or paying something else. Like it needs to be, I usually like to leave a buffer about a positive $50 in there just in case something comes up that we weren't planning on or I forgot to take an account for. So the plan is then in March, I can start taking my normal paycheck and then slowly increasing that as we balance between increasing our personal income and then increasing our investment with growing our business. So I'm feeling so good. I've been working on this for hours today. I was planning on getting some work done today. Today's my work day, but this was important. I had to get my business finances in line, how to get our family finances in line. Taking this time to do your budget dates is so important. So it feels so good. It was stressful. I listened to Yoga Pandora Station on my way to pick Mav up from preschool. That was like my break in between trying to figure all this out. I've been texting hubby. This isn't just me working on this. I've been texting hubby all morning. So sorry, hubby, to be bugging you so much at work. But this is just how it works. I'm gonna leave so many links in the description box for you guys. Links to how we set up our budget, links to templates that you can get for free. I'm gonna link you to videos on budgeting together as a couple. I also have a free workshop, a free online workshop that you can get access to that's going to take you step by step through starting your budget without the stress, learning how to budget without the stress and making sure that your goals are in your budget. So please, please, please take the time to go through one link at a time in the description box. All right, so that is my update thus far. I'll check back in with you guys as time goes on and we see if these numbers actually work out the way we want them to. Dang it. Guys, I just wanted to capture this moment to give you a perspective that, like, yeah, I would say that we like have our finances under control and we have a good plan set in place. But even when that happens, roadblocks come. We had all of hubby's overtime set up so we could cover our bills and not have to take so much money out of the business so we could reinvest. Well, I'm getting stuff ready for school right now and hubby calls and says that overtime opportunities have been cut off until further notice. And it's like, of course, like, and I even knew deep down that this was gonna happen. I just had a feeling. And being the amazing husband that he is, he already has a plan for, I mean, he's really good at finding cars that he can flip and make a profit on because he is so mechanical and used to be a mechanic. He's good at that. So he already has a plan, but it's just frustrating, you know? But I also know that our Heavenly Father always watches over us. And though it seems like the story of our life, things don't go as planned, you know, we're taken care of and it'll be okay. It's just hard. It's just hard sometimes. We got this. You got this. Okay, things got a little dramatic for a minute, but rest assured, as I knew, things would work out. It's not the way we wanted them to. We had less money than we would have liked to coming from Tommy's income and had to pull more than we were planning. So we ended up having myself pull a paycheck for $2,800 and that covered our expenses for the rest of February. And yeah, so like I said, like our goal is to be able to reinvest more of pennies into pearls. So I take a smaller paycheck initially, but that's to in long term, like we're slowing down to speed up. So taking a smaller paycheck at the beginning of the year in hopes that we can reinvest and have a greater return on our investment later on in the year. So that's where all that drama came from. Like, we've got things covered. Don't worry, we're doing fine. We were just hoping to not have to take so much money out of the business this month, but though it's not what we wanted, we still feel completely blessed that we have money to cover what we need and then some. Like, if you're following me on Instagram, hubby and I got to go on a really fun 2-night staycation here in San Diego for our 13-year anniversary. So we're doing fine, and that's because we were able to set aside money into savings to pay for that trip in cash and still cover all our expenses and things like that. So how did you guys like this? I'm doing these budget updates quarterly now. So if there's any information I left out, are there numbers that you're hoping to see? Do you have questions about how we move money around? Any of those things, please leave them down in the comments. We're being very vulnerable here and showing you guys all the numbers. And the reason we're doing that is because I know when we're struggling or we're trying to learn something new, actually seeing the real life numbers, even if they're not exactly the same as our families, if I see how that person's doing it, I can get ideas on how to make it work for our family. So I hope this helps. Please leave your questions down below. Our family's an open book to try to help you guys, so we are here to help in any way we can. And don't forget to grab your free Budgeting for Beginners starter kit. It's a printable version. You can get it on your computer. You can access it on your phone. There's so many different things. It's completely free. And there's a link for you down in the description box. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.